Welcome to Traders Cast. Very special guest, Mr. Dadlian.
Okay.
Bro, I am so happy that you're here because the last time we spoke in person was in Los Angeles, and you were living over there in Los Angeles.
Right.
Before I ask you what made you want to come to Miami, which shouldn't even be a reason, it's Miami, right? Bro, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about who you are, what you do in the trading space, and how what you do has such a big impact in the trading space, even though not that many people would know you. After this, they'll be really intrigued to know who you are.
Right. Yeah, so I appreciate you having me on, right? So this is actually like my first podcast ever. So
Yeah.
it's actually kind of interesting. So yeah, my name is Dallin King. I'm an algorithmic trader. I've been trading for about 5 years now. And my role and everything is that I've created a lot of back-end software, and I've also created a lot of the famous indicators or EAs that you guys use and your favorite mentors selling to. I've licensed. We'll get into that. I've licensed a few systems to small hedge funds and stuff like that. And I'm currently working with a lot of big development teams that create trading platforms.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like the industry's Batman. You know,
Nice.
You only hear about me when you need me.
That's a good way of fucking putting it. By the way, the reason I say fuck EAs, I don't mean fuck EAs like they don't work. I just mean them as in everyone who's selling them. Have you noticed that ever since MetaQuotes has removed all these brokers, everyone and their mothers is selling an EA in the industry?
It's actually the opposite.
What do you mean the opposite?
I mean, you can't sell EAs without MetaTrader.
No. Now, from what I've seen, is more people are selling EAs than before.
Oh, because that's for prop firms, though.
Yeah.
Right. So like prop firms don't really need that same license that regular brokers do.
Yeah, because majority of the prop firms are using ACAP and the other.
They're just white labeling licensed brokers.
Yeah.
So yeah, because that's the business model now. As you know, majority of these guys can't actually do this.
And speaking about prop firms, everyone and their mother has one, which I'm so fucking against. And here's the only reason why. I'm not against people making money. I'm against people who don't have any money, that create a prop firm, that don't have any reserve funds, and then you have a successful trader like yourself, goes into the prop firm, makes 50K, 100K,
right.
And then because they don't have reserve funds, they can't pay you out.
Right.
That's what I'm against.
People don't know the business model, right? And I made a post like this, I think like 2 days ago, where I talked about this whole industry is just affiliate marketing, and I pissed a lot of people off.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
And I piss a lot of people. I do that kind of regularly. But it is, because if you understand the business model and how everything works, you understand that $50,000 can get you in the same place.
Exactly.
Right? And the licensing and, is it regulated? It doesn't matter.
Nope.
You can go to St. Lucia, get regulated broker for $2,000 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll have the same brokerage power as somewhere as Australia that's $1 million to start a brokerage.
Yeah.
But the business model is the same.
It's the same thing. It's all the same.
So it's like you can white label anything and just build on top of it.
And that's why you see so many prop firms, because they're being sold. Let's put it into 3 different categories. One is the flea market. It's being sold for 10, 20K, right? The middle one, think about it like a Walmart. It's being sold for 50 to 100K. And then you have the bougie place, Design District, for example, where they're being sold for 200, 300K.
Right.
If you're smart, you'll go with the flea market, because you understand how it's all the same shit.
Right.
And if you're retarded, you get targeted and you pay 300K for a prop firm that someone's paying 20K for.
Yeah.
And bro, I've seen it. I know people who've paid ridiculous amounts to get a prop firm. They're not in profit, meaning with the subscriptions that they have every month, the returning customers, pre-existing customers, they're not buying enough challenges to put them above profit. And when it's time to split the bill with whatever category you went with, they don't have enough money.
Right.
You get me? They don't have enough to cover their overhead. And that's why so many prop firms, you're going to see in the next year, guys, so many prop firms are going to fall.
The prop firms is literally in your face what FTX is. Because it's just like any other banking model. They're selling you a demo account, then they're using the money, and then hoping that you're going to fail, because majority of them do.
Yeah.
Right? And then they only get outed by that one trader that says, I made $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? So unless Unless you're literally such a famous prop firm that you're overflowing with money to the point where you can still do what you want to do.
Those I love. FTMO and all those big ones that have reserve funds, love them.
Right.
All these other small, shitty fucking prop firms, you know who I'm talking about. Bro, like, why are you putting yourself in that situation? If you have a client that makes $100K
Right.
and you don't have reserve funds, do you know how stupid you look saying, well, we have to investigate your trade?
Right.
You got me? It looks so retarded.
They
And
put all the rules on it to even make it more difficult.
yeah, it doesn't get the customer, the trader who worked really hard to either get lucky or worked really hard to either gather this knowledge to make these trades under pressure and everything.
Right.
Then they get told, hey, you're not going to get paid out.
Right.
Yeah. Essentially, this is why I used Hero and Air as the two brokers I trade on. The reason I use them is because whenever I make money, they pay me out. So I feel very secure about the funds. And they're companies who have already been established for quite a while. They have massive reserve funds. And I've seen it happen. Some of my people in my community in Pips Nation have said, oh, well, the take profit was there and then it wasn't there.
Right.
And Hero FX would say, okay, sir, you lost $2,500. We're going to recompensate you that, right? And you'll be good. And I've never really seen too many platforms do that.
Right.
But that's why I promote Hero so heavily, because of those simple things.
Mm-hmm.
But the prop firm space, man, it's just, I know that in the next 8 months, 12 months, 16 months, it's going to look like FTX.
Well, I'll tell you this right now.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
It won't even reach that point because from what I understand, a lot of them are going to have paperwork issues in the next 5 months. So a lot of them are going to not exist off of
Can we talk about that or we can't?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. At the moment.
Oh, not on camera.
Okay.
Because it's like,
Okay.
people. But it's the same thing. Like, with my community, I have over 2,000.
That's a powerful fucking man who says that. Yeah.
No, I've worked with these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I know a guy that owns 32 prop firms. One guy owns 32 fucking prop firms.
Are they all white labels under it?
They're all white labels.
Okay.
But he bought them out. It's people buy and he'll buy them. He also owns a lot of brokers, right? One guy. And he's not even older than us. You know what I'm saying?
I think I know who it is. I'm not going to mention his name, but
He's not even older than us.
I know who you are.
And you're what? How old are you?
I'm 24 now.
Yeah, I'm 28. He's younger than you. And him and his team own 30 prop firms and a couple brokers. And he just showed it to me the other day.
Nice.
So, like, when you understand the business model, and then I get, like, the contracts that come across the desk, and I get a phone call, like, yo, do you know these guys from this broker? And I look at them, like, oh, yeah, I do. Then I see those same guys talk on Instagram, and I'm holding the paperwork with the lie.
Yeah.
So this is why I don't, like, a lot of brokers who would like to work with me, I'm very broker neutral, right? I've known you for a while. I worked with Hero and brought a lot of clients to you guys. But I don't say Hero's my broker or, other brokers, whatever the case may be, because I'm an algo trader. If I have a client that lives in Japan, I have to make a system that works with IC markets, right? Because they can't have Hero or Envy or Sway, whatever these brokers are. So the data set matters. But yeah, because I work on the back end and develop with all these platforms, I see 2 years ago when I was saying MetaTrader is going to revoke licenses because they're already putting.
Why did they? Yeah.
They want IPO.
They want IPO?
IPO.
Meaning go public?
Yeah, they're going public.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So they can't go public with what they consider dirty, which is the unregulated market. So that's what happened.
So all they have now is regulated entities.
Regulated entities. So, because in the broker tier, there's the...
Well, what about, like, here, let's talk about sway markets. They were regulated. Whoa, why are you laughing?
Because everyone want to... Because...
I'm not here to bash them. I'm just here to say they were regulated in Australia.
Right.
And all they kept saying is how they're regulated.
Means nothing.
Everywhere. Why would MetaQuotes remove them if they're regulated?
Those regulations don't really mean anything because...
What regulation are they looking for? Yeah.
State regulation.
State?
The Oandas of the world, the Forex.com of the world.
The U.S.
The U.S. regulator,
Okay.
because you have that, then you have the I don't know how to properly pronounce it, the SCEY, whereas like London Forex brokerage, because the banks are mainly in London, so you have some that are registered out there, and Australia is a well respected registration to have,
Okay.
but it doesn't have the same regulatory bodies that something in London or the UK will have.
Makes sense.
Right? So even though there's still like a tier 2 or tier 1 regulation, they're still subject to being revoked the same way, because they
Gotcha.
don't go through the same auditory processes as more like the United States or the UK will go through.
One of the other reasons I know that MediQuotes is revoking all the licenses is if you have any U.S. client, or if you have any, like, let's say you have you have Australian clients, and then you file for Australian regulation. If you have pre-existing Australian clients before the regulation, you're getting revoked. The way it has to work is you have to get the regulation first, and then you could get the clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to operate without the license.
Exactly. So that's why so many platforms got revoked. I mean, Hero and Air accepted U.S. clients. They know that they weren't supposed to, but they were just doing it to help U.S. clients out. Leverage 1 to 500, 100% deposit bonus. Like, the broker was really helping out the clients it has. Like, the reason I partnered with Hero and became such a big, let's say, affiliate with them is because the name in itself I was impressed with. Hero means helping everyone realize opportunity. And at the time I was working with Ego FX, and I was making like 10, 15K off my IB link, and I was making, my IB link was 321, right? And then I partnered up with Hero where my IB link was 632111111 infinite one, or like all the way down. And my income significantly changed with Hero, so that's why I continue to promote them.
Respect that.
I'm very transparent with how I make the money.
Yeah, a lot of traders aren't.
Yeah.
You actually called me. Like, you called me like 3 weeks before Hero launched to get me onboarded.
Yeah, the reason why is because I explained this in a video. I'm like, depending on your IB program, like if your IB program is a percentage of the book, you'll want traders who are trading 100K accounts. If your IB program is multi-level tier like mine was, I would want traders underneath me who had big communities to promote. That's why I reached out to you.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. When I said that is all affiliate marketing, it's just like IML, just in a different layout. Right?
Yeah, my previous guests, man. So I came from IML. Did you come from IML as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
You and me were in the same time.
Okay, so we both came from essentially the same country. And this guy, oh shit, he's like, hey man, fuck IML. And then I'm like, well, my dude, if it wasn't for IML, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Man, Chris Terry, shout out to that old fucker. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at, because I feel like IML did create something significant. I mean, I think about Tyler. You got Mackenzie. He was an IML. I think about a lot of other big people in the industry. Alex Morgan, like fucking insane what he's doing now with his coaching, his mentorship, and his mindset. So I think IML created a lot of success stories even outside of its own platform.
Right.
Yeah, man.
IML gets that bad rep because the people that were pushing, it was like a cult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It mainly gets a bad rep inside the US, but in like Latin countries and the UK and France, it gets a pretty good rep.
Economically, so does
The reason why is because,
Herbalife.
yeah, the reason why it gets a good rep in all these other countries and third world countries is because a P600 in a third world country, it's decent money.
Right.
You get me? And a P600 guys make $600 a month in a third world country. That's a lot. Compared to here in the US, $600, it's not really that much.
Week of groceries.
Exactly.
Especially in Miami.
Especially in Miami. You get me? Maybe if you live in what's a isolated state? What's an isolated? You guys can't tell me a quick names. Kentucky. Y'all live in Kentucky. I don't even know the conditions in Kentucky, but I know here in Miami, shit, $600 is not doing you any.
Can barely brush your teeth.
Yeah.
You spend money out here, yo.
You can't. $600 is not gonna get you far.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was in IML, I wanted to buy a car, and I told my dad, I'm gonna get to this rank and I'm gonna make $600, and the car payment is $350, right? And my dad never got me the car. I never made the car payments, but I thought at the time $600 would be enough. And then as I grew older and older, it's not that I limit myself to how much money I make. I just understand that however much I make, I'm not going to spend just as much because I'm going to live below my means. Meaning if I make $100K a month, I'm spending 30 to 40. And the other 60, I'm saving it to potentially invest into an opportunity.
Right.
The worst position to be in, right, as an entrepreneur is saying you make all this money and you flex all this shit on Instagram, but when an opportunity arrives, you do not have the money for it. I think that's the worst position to be in as an investor. And that happened to me last year in 2023, and it happened to me in 2022, where these projects would come to my face and I didn't have enough money for them. Why? Because I was spending it on fucking supercars and all this shit. And now I'm just like, man, if a general dollar pops up, like the land or the store, I'm fucking buying it.
Right.
If a fucking McDonald's pops up, not the McDonald's, but the land that the McDonald's sits on, I'm buying it.
You have to get that out of your system.
Yeah, like I'm putting myself in a position where if a good opportunity arises, multiplex units, cryptocurrency, where I know more of the insider stuff, I am ready to buy.
Right.
You got me? I'm not here thinking if I should buy or this or that. I'm just ready to go for it. Okay, guys, go. So, the first time we met, we had pizza.
Right.
You got me? And we had some pretty good fucking pizza in Los Angeles. So, bro, I'm starving. I decided to order some pizza for all of us.
No, that's fire.
You got me? Yeah. We're gonna keep rolling.
Fire.
Yeah. Yo, tell him to hurry up. What? Yeah. Apple Pay. Yeah, just tip him. But I did Apple Pay, and I tipped on Apple Pay because I tip like I'm rich.
Yeah, that's on a petty motherfucker.
So I put the max it gave me was 30%.
Yeah, actually.
Chris is a barber. How can a barber not have cash? You gave him $100 bucks.
Permiso?
Well, I tipped online. I tipped. No. Start putting it here. We're gonna eat as we go. Yeah, just put one of the boxes in the middle.
I just had to apply before I got here.
Yeah, right. You think he's not gonna eat Domino's? Slice. Wow, and it looks fucking good too.
Nigga, that's fire.
Yeah, pass me a paper towel. Yo, we're gonna continue this episode just like this.
Say less.
Bro, not gonna lie, and pass me one of those garlic sauces. One or two of them. Damn, not gonna lie, this does look amazing. I mean, I don't even know why we stopped recording. We finished it that fast. That shit was amazing. But you did ask me, he's like, you asked me, hey, are you still a part of Driven? So let's get into Driven, right? Driven is a MLM company that essentially the owner of the company is named Corey Cromray. I looked at this guy as a mentor, brother figure, someone who I trusted a lot. So I worked for this company for like 5-6 months for free. I did a lot of helping with the marketing side of the company, and then a lot of help in the internals of the company, like how to create the comp plan, how to create different things for the company. And overall, the guy promised me so many things he didn't deliver on. So then the month of April comes, which is the month that the company's launching. When the company launches, I have a team. I'm basically the second biggest person in the company because the first biggest is the person above me, right? And essentially, when I got started with the company, I brought in this massive team, And then the team after 30 days started doing chargebacks. Why? The CRM wouldn't work. You know, when people would enroll someone, the enrollment wouldn't be under them in the tree. There was so much shit going on, bro. It was crazy. Customer support sucked. There were so many things that made me question, why would you even launch this? It's an embarrassment. So my team did a bunch of chargebacks because they were like, we're paying $1,500 for this Forex platform, and some of the videos don't even load and have a technical error. Like, think about it, a video not loading. It's like as easy as YouTube. So when it was time to get paid in May after April, the guy's like, hey, because your team has done chargebacks, I can't pay you. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, bro, I worked 6 months for free to help you build this company of your dreams. And because my team, of a few people on my team did chargeback, you're going to say you have to review the numbers on what you have to pay me? So then I send them a message. I'm like, hey, man, to be honest, the fact that you're even saying this to me right now is ridiculous. Fuck you. Fuck your money. Go fuck yourself. And then that happened in April and May. And at the time, I was starting my affiliation with Hero, meaning I started a partnership with them where they gave me this really cool IB program and multi-tier program to follow. And I'm like, you know what? If I could have poured all of my resources like I did into this company, into Hero, I'm going to make a lot of money. And then that's where I poured everything into Hero. I started promoting it to everyone. I reached out to you. I reached out to so many people that within 2 months of being in Hero, I was making like 30K. And I'm like, yo, fuck the MLM industry. Right. And then I'm like, fuck that guy. Like it left me such a sour taste of the MLM industry, even though I'm forever grateful for all of those downs that I had to go through and like those bad partnerships and stuff, or people using me for my skill set, my talent, or whatever I possessed at the moment. I'm grateful for it, but I always remember, fuck them. Like, you know, like that's the honest truth. That's my experience with Driven. And then after people see a reel about Driven, people are going to say, yo, fuck that guy. Because, bro, everyone had something to complain about. It was, imagine you enroll 3 people in and you don't see them underneath your tree in your CRM, in your back office.
Right.
What the fuck? You got me? Having to message customer support. You told all these people how great this company is, because you know how MLM people are, right? Yeah. We only operate with the best type of formula. And imagine you have to message support. Oh, this is something that has never happened before. And then they bring in someone in, and that person doesn't show under their back office, so they have to message support. Right. It turns into a big snowfall of just failures and utter embarrassment, and people just do a chargeback. People are like, I want my money back. You get me? And you can't blame them, especially in this industry. But that's my story with Driven. And then Driven has been my last MLM. Before Driven, I was a part of a company named Yep. Right? That was a shit show. That, you know, the owner of the company didn't know how to run the company. Corey.
A lot of these guys don't.
Yeah. Corey's like, it's his fault all of this is happening. CRM, back office, customer service. It's funny how Corey said it's his fault that all of this is happening, and then it happens to him within his company. You get me? It's crazy how karma works. Then before that, I was with a company named B.
Me too.
And B, okay, yeah, that's where we met. And B, I hit MRO in like 4 weeks. MRO was basically me making $8,000-$9,000 a month. And with B, it was a good experience. I met a lot of people. It got me out of my comfort zone. I started traveling Boston, New York, California, Las Vegas. I traveled everywhere with B. The reason I liked B was because it was kind of different, because it was only 2 legs that you had to build, so it was a lot easier. And I actually helped people get to 6-figure ranks. I helped multiple people get to 6-figure ranks. So I felt like I accomplished something for the people. So I really liked that company. And then before that, it was IML.
Right.
And with IML, grateful for it. The reason I left IML was because my team left me. And the reason that my team left me is because of the people above me. The people above me were fucking idiots, bro. It's just horny ass chairmans trying to get at every girl in the roster. Like,
I got banned from every single MLM.
how did you get banned? How do you get banned?
So IML, when I got into IML, is when I started getting decent at trading. And I started having my systems. And what happened is, they had like that, fuck is it called? The little trading move platform with the harmonic scanner.
Yeah, the harmonic scanner. Yeah.
That bullshit.
That bullshit. Yeah.
So at that point, I had come out with a system called the Don. And the Don was just like a SSL, when I was channel, had money management, whatever, but it was like 66% on the 1 hour time frame. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that was like from 60 to 66% across all Forex.
Okay.
And I was doing signals and I was doing live calls. So I went from like 20 people to like 400 and something people in my Telegram.
Yeah.
People canceled their memberships.
With IML, and that's why they banned you.
And they banned me. And then a couple months later asked me to build their back end for the harmonic scan. And then same thing with B. I led one of the biggest coups in B, and I had everyone do chargebacks. Yes, so they banned me there too. I had everyone do chargebacks. I was like, this is stupid. Because like the education and all that other stuff. I was
the world of wisdom.
Huh?
The world of wisdom.
That motion. So,
wow, that was the name of it. Wow, the world of wisdom.
So like I would indirectly having my own mentorship.
Yeah.
Because I had a signals chat, but I think it's just in me to want to, as I learn, I teach.
Yeah.
So as I'm learning and I'm creating stuff, I'm teaching you.
Yeah.
So you're on the same, especially if I'm giving you a software, I gotta teach you what I'm learning so you can be up to date with me. And I ended up having a whole course without having a course. And they banned me too. And then that's when I started my first mentorship company.
I think majority of the education in these MLM platforms is just utter bullshit. Like, I'm not gonna name this person, but he was the head of education for B, for WoW. And this motherfucker, I asked him to show me his trading account, and he couldn't. At that time in B, there was no prop firms. Remember?
Yep.
There was no prop firms. So it's either you had a real account. Huh?
It was an FTMO just came out.
Just came out, but nobody knew about it. You got me? So I asked this guy, show me your trading account. And he couldn't show me a trading account.
Remember I told you a bunch of janitors doing a principal's job?
Yeah. He couldn't show me a trading account. And he's the master educator, bullshit title of WoW, which is the world of wisdom, which is essentially the learning curriculum for B.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, if this guy is the one teaching and he doesn't even have a trading account, what the fuck is he teaching? So then I speak to Corey, right? Look at this retarded's mindset. And I'm a retard for believing him. But Corey's like, yeah, no, bro.
I'm usually the violent one. This is actually refreshing.
Corey's like, hey, man, he's a really good educator. He's not a good trader. What the fuck does that mean?
Those that can't do teach.
Yeah. He's like, he's a really good educator, but he's not a good trader. If your trading, right, is a reflection of your education, right, or your education is a reflection of your trading and you suck, why the fuck should anyone learn from you? Period.
Well,
you get me?
People go to college and do business and become business majors.
Dude, those people just don't have a brain, but...
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's the same thing. Again, people that can't do teach. There's a lot of intelligent people in the world. There aren't a lot of smart people in the world.
Well said.
And people don't understand the difference between being intelligent and being smart.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. There's not a lot of street smart people in the world.
That too, but that's a different facet, right? I know a lot of people that have a higher IQ than me, but they work for me.
I could relate, because my IQ... my IQ is negative, but I have a lot of people that have higher IQs that work for me.
Being smart is just using whatever intellect you do have and use it productively, right? So that's what puzzles are. It's not a puzzle is a picture broken up to a million pieces. Being smart is being able to create a system to put them back together. No amount of information you learn from a dictionary or encyclopedia is going to help you put that puzzle together.
Exactly.
Right? So when it comes to people that teach but can't do, that's exactly what that is. They just know a bunch of shit and know how to articulate it.
Yeah.
But they can't productively execute.
Yeah. I agree with you there, but that's essentially what happened. So this guy is the master educator of the educational course. Then Corey Cromray says, "Hey man, he's not a good trader, but he's a good teacher." And then I replied to Corey, "Well, if he's not a good trader and his teachings are a reflection of his trades, then why is he the master educator?" Like, that's how big of a scam, in my opinion, the MLM industry was and Driven was, which is absolutely ridiculous. They had me come onto stage, and I remember one time he was introducing me, and he's like, "This guy has managed $20 million. The fuck? I've never managed that amount of money in my life. You get me? The most I've ever managed in my life was like 1.2 million. And from that, bro, I had such a scary loss that I just returned the money to all the customers. I lost 400K in 30 minutes because of gold. And then from there, I never managed money again because thank God the money that I lost was money that was profit. And every client, I talk about this. I say my biggest loss ever was 400K. The money that I lost was profit. So the balances of these clients were saved. They were good. But bro, the fact that I saw that much money being lost, I was like, fuck. If I lose it myself, I could deal with myself. You get me? I'll look at myself in the mirror and say, you're stupid. But besides that, I could deal with myself. But if I lose that type of money for clients, that's a different ballgame.
I remember you telling me to do like equity management between you and Tyler McAnees.
Yeah, don't do it.
I still do.
You still do it?
Yeah. So it was actually because of y'all I started doing it. I didn't want to do it. But question for you, right? When you was doing it, or even now when you're doing it with your own trades.
Yeah.
Right? What's your approach? Meaning, some people, just like strategies, have different styles, right? People are SMC, or they say price action, and whatever.
Everyone has their own, yeah.
But when you come to the strategy, to the trade management, to the money management part of it, how do you enter or exit your trade? You don't have to break down your strategy, but like when you enter the market, at what point would you get out? And how would you manage your trade?
So I don't really talk about this, right? I don't really talk about my strategy, my entry points, my exit points. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because the way I understand trading may be completely different to the way you understand trading. But for the simple fact that you asked, the way I enter a trade is very simplistic. I don't use anything that's too complex. I don't use smart money concepts. I don't use all these other different creative strategies that have been created through different people that really don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. What I use is simple price action. I use beginner stuff, right? I use very simple supply and demand zones. And the reason I use supply and demand zones is because I'm trying to see where there's an area that is being supplied because of the demand that is holding the area. Right. And then from there, I will technically use different tools and instruments. Right. The tools are very simplistic tools. They're like Fibonacci retracement, right? I don't even use that complex instruments. I barely ever use them, to be honest. But then from there, I use something that is the easiest thing in Forex. It's patterns. I trade with patterns. I trade with head and shoulders, double tops, double bottoms, triple tops, triple bottoms. I trade with the easiest things that are offered in this space, and I've made a pretty good living off of it. Right. You get me? So I enter based off mainly patterns with price action and then with retracements involving those patterns. Right. And then I exit. The exit is just as easy as the entry, and here's why. If you know what a double top is supposed to look like, you know what it's supposed to end with. That's where I typically exit before you know where it's supposed to end. So like, let's say that the chart is 0, 10 positive, 10 positive, 10 negative, right? It just created a double top, right? And it's going to go to 10 negative. I would exit around 7 negative to make sure that it will hit my take profit. Right. Very simplistic stuff. Okay. Probably to you, this is kindergarten stuff.
Well, no, this is actually a good topic because I get a lot. Oh yeah, bro, indicators don't work. I'm like, sorry, what do you trade with? Oh, price action. I'm like, so indicators.
Yeah, it's pretty much indicative.
So it's like something's indicating you to go in the market because Forex doesn't have a centralized bank, right? So unless you're seeing volume, which you don't ever, unless you're trading futures, right? You either have to use legit, like there's a website called bookmap.com where it's a liquidity visualizer with the data book.
Yeah.
Right. That is the only thing that's real time. So if you're using a bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, double tops, whatever, you're using an indicator, right? Now, if you're using moving averages, it's the same thing. Now, the reason why I say that is because people have different structures. And before, you know, as you create systems, you start really, really getting to know not only what you're trading. Like I trade NASDAQ. That's my baby.
Yeah.
Right. And I know how it moves so well. I now no longer need indicators, but I just understand the behavior patterns of it. Right. So, but I've noticed I got profitable with, doesn't matter what strategy. I could flip a coin. Right. And it's the trade management. The money management is one thing. So for example, it's also the broker that you're trading on for the contract sizes. So for example, Hero, and this is something I want people to, like, if they watch this, test it. Hero, their contract sizes, if I were to put a standard, is $100 per point, right? On another broker, say it's Raz Markets, different liquidity providers give different contract sizes. That's true to contract. So it gives, at a standard, it gives me the same thing as a Euro, $10 per point. So if I wanted to make $1,000 every day, on Hero, I just need 10 points. On Raz, I would need 100 plus.
Exactly.
Right? So...
And when he's saying points, he means lot sizes, guys.
No. Points. Lot sizes for standards, like that one.
Okay, you're saying points because of NASDAQ?
Yeah, NASDAQ.
Oh, okay,
points,
okay, my bad. I thought you were talking about lot sizes. You're talking about points because of NASDAQ.
Yeah. So
it's
because different brokers give different contract sizes. So even like, if you remember Hugo?
Yeah.
A 0.01 gave you $10 per point.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or,
yeah.
$10.
You're talking about the index. Okay.
The index. So different contracts on different brokers will give you different results. So this is where I wanted to go back earlier when you said fuck EAs, right? Besides the fact of
I didn't mean fuck EAs. I meant fuck who's selling the EAs. Everyone's selling EAs.
Valid point, right? And it's just something I battle with a lot because...
And 9 out of 10 EAs that you are buying out on Instagram are going to fail within the next 2 to 3 months. I guarantee you.
100%. And it's because it's not...
Make that into a reel. Yeah, make that into a reel. Yeah.
It's because it's not data driven.
Yeah.
Right? There's no strategy behind it. It's just breaks the highs and lows. Like the HFT bots that you guys are buying to pass challenges, 90% of them are RSI crossovers.
Yeah.
Overbought, oversold, and have a timer to close a trade. It's just like binary options, but in the EA.
Makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yo, that fell off. Binary options.
It didn't. It's still popping overseas.
Overseas. You know, I need to stop saying things have fallen off because they're not popping in the US.
Yeah.
But I think it was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the IML days, the binary options were big.
Right.
And I would see so many people say, I won this trade in 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm. I was one of them. I think this is actually real. If you go to my Instagram, if you scroll down, I have one of those. I just stopped posting about Forex a while ago.
Yeah. I remember in IML, I forgot the name of this woman, but this woman was held as the queen of US 30 with binary options. Supposedly she just never lost. You get me? And then I'm just like, yeah, right. I get into her fucking session. I blow my account. She lost 3 for 3 that day. And keep in mind, guys, I said IML days. This is back when I was just starting off trading. I didn't know any risk management or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think like understanding the fundamentals of where you're trading and how to actually manipulate what you're trading.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where you mentioned trade management. That's where when I trade with patterns, I know where it's going to end. So to manage the trade, it's so much easier because if you're trading a double top, you know, you have a pretty good prediction of a double top where it's going to end. And that's how you could essentially manage your trade a little bit better.
Right.
Now, there is a certain individual that says set and forget. What's your opinion on that with trade management?
I mean, that's a psychological play. So I like it. it's all perspective, because I can say the same thing, right? So if you're doing a double top, right?
Yeah.
Liquidity set up here, and you have a bunch of SMC ICT traders that understand that push down 8 times out of 10 is a reversal, right? That's manipulation.
Yeah.
Right. So your take profit is someone's entry, some POI at the bottom. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
He, the guy you're talking about, he trades a higher time frame. It's very easy to forget. You were scalpers. I scalp. You know what I mean? You're on the charts.
Yeah.
So when his strategy, as it works, because he trades basic support and resistance from what I understand and what I see, that's a slower moving, no matter what, US 30, whatever, slower moving. So you can easily say or forget that situation as long as you're comfortable, right? It doesn't matter the pattern. You just have to understand the behaviors of what you're trading. And I think people don't, the strategy doesn't matter. It's the behavior and timing in what you're trading.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And yourself as well. Your psychology is so important.
So you're someone that enjoys just not being on the chart. There's definitely the strategy.
Yeah.
Too.
For me, my strategy is always the same with everything, but it depends on the volume. It depends on essentially how fast or how slow the market's moving, that I would decide if I want to be a swing trader and hold for a couple days, or be a scalper / day trader, hold for a couple either minutes to hours. It all depends on how fast the market's moving. And some days it moves slower because there is no news. It's all yellow folders. And then there is your NFP Fridays, your different orange to red folder news that cause the market to move dramatically. And those are the days I decide to scalp and day trade. But ultimately, I like to keep it very simple.
Right.
I've always had a easier understanding of the market with the basics rather than the complex advanced things. That's just because I'm not as smart as you.
That's not about being smart. I just studied a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro, your knowledge is on another level.
Can I drop a gem for everybody?
Go ahead.
If you were to go on any chart during New York session, gold, US 30, or NASDAQ, right? 930 for US 30 and NASDAQ, 830 for gold. Mark up the previous high and low. And then what you're going to And then you're going to mark the fib. For gold, what I've seen is about 30% extension. So if you go from...
Have you ever seen that meme that they did on Sasuke?
Nah.
The woman just says, and then.
Nah, I didn't.
No, I thought you would have known that.
Nah.
I thought you would have caught on, but.
Nah, my fault. I wish I had enough time to freaking watch reels all day. But yeah, so you just mark out both with an extension from both sides. And then you watch for either the 830 or 930 to take out a high. If that high that it takes out, right? So say my extension's here, and it takes out a high and it reaches that extension, it's continuing. If it doesn't, it's reversing. And you'll wait for the next, it'll wait for a failure or break of that high that it created, and then you get in for the short.
Typically, from a 1 out of 10, how accurate is it?
Around like 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now you're either going to get a validation of a break of structure, right? Or you're going to get a fake out. Because a lot of people trade. They'll go on the 1 minute and they'll trade the breakout, but then they lose.
Yeah.
Right? That's the simplest strategy. It doesn't matter what you do at that point, because it's going to take out a high or a low, a session high, a daily high, whatever. And then now those are just added confluence.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So once you mark out your thresholds on both sides, if price closes above that threshold, it's continuing. Now you look for the break, retest, buy, break, retest, sell. Or if it wicks and comes back into that zone, you look for the reversal.
Gotcha. So with that being said, where is it that I think you have such a brass knowledge on shit, right? Where is it that you want to get to in the next 12 months with what you're doing, or where do you see yourself?
So, as you know, I'm not very much in the public eye with it. Like, I'm not a trading influencer.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. My body, like my soul, couldn't allow me to do it.
I don't even like that anymore.
Yeah.
Because like most people think that they're learning from someone because they have a nice car.
Right.
You get me? Like I tell people, don't come and learn from me or take any advice from me because of the materialistic things I have. Right. take it because you see the video and you understand logically what I'm saying makes logical sense.
Right.
You get me? Don't do it because of the cars or because of the lifestyle. It's not. Anyone could fake that.
Right.
You get me? Anyone could fake all of these things. And that's what I like about you, how you're so transparent with everything.
Right.
But as you were saying?
No, I appreciate you. So I started creating the actual software you guys use. Right. So, like I said earlier, I created a lot of systems you guys probably see your favorite indicator company make, or your favorite YouTuber sell you an EA or stuff like that.
Can I show you something? And then you tell me if you're the creator.
It's funny because I recently just went to some startup thing because I have a few entrepreneur stars I have. And a guy told me, he was like, yeah, I have this EA. And he shows me an indicator on TradingView. And then I showed him the code to it on my phone. I'm like, did you make this? He was like, yeah. I was like, you sure? So
don't say the name out loud, but
no,
you're not involved with that? Okay, because this piece of shit, give it 2-3 months. You're going to see how everyone wasted their money on that.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
So I have a few startups that I'm creating. One of them is an AI project for day traders. It's TradeDevy.
TradeDevy, yeah.
So what TradeDevy is if anyone has watched the show Billions, Billions is a show about a hedge fund and a hedge fund manager, and has all these people that help him run the hedge fund. So you have Bobby Axelrod, Wendy, the performance coach, whatever. So I made different AIs that embody the personalities of all of them. So you'll be able to articulate your strategy. I made one that as me. So if you can go to my profile, you'll see it.
Who are you?
Lion. Yeah, because that's my dad's actual name. So I named it after my dad.
So who's Devi?
Devi is Devin Matrix. So basically what I did was I made it so it can be standing on its own outside of my brand.
Okay.
So I created different AIs that embody the company itself. So Devin Matrix is the CEO. When you use the app, you'll be talking to him. But if you wanted to ask about technical analysis, you'll be talking to Carter, right? And then if you do market analysis, you'll be talking to Annalisa. So every AI has its own particular set of rules that it abides by and its own use case. Wendy is the performance coach. So if you have psychological issues where you're trading, you talk to her. So basically mine, you'll be able to articulate your strategy and he'll code it out for you and you can use it.
Wow.
So like all those EAs and stuff that you're buying, you'll be able to just talk to him and he'll make it.
And
you'll have to
so what's the point of buying all this shit?
Exactly. So you'll be able you'll be able to ask like, what's good with US 30 today? And it will give you 3 reasons fundamentally, sentiment, and the technicals as to whether it's bullish, bearish, or neutral. So we're releasing the MVP of that in the next few weeks. So if anyone's watching this on my page, you can go on my Instagram.
You can join a waitlist? Okay, cool.
Waitlist is in my bio, tradedevi.ai. And also that the goal about that is to white label to your TradingView and to MetaTrader and the different platforms. So the underlying technology you can use to like edit with AI, right? So we're currently fundraising for that as well.
Fundraising, how much do you need?
So overall to seed funding, $250. $250. And it's because I just have good relationships with a lot of brokers as well, because this can also be used for brokerages for the traders and all these other things. And then 250 to $1 million is the in between that we're raising to make it all happen. And then there's another project called SigmaView, which is what I actually told you about SigmaView.
Yeah.
Years ago, and it's still under development. I'm partnering up with DX Trade, helping me develop the platform, but SigmaView will replace MetaTrader and every other platform you use to execute on.
Wow. What's your opinion? And I want to finish it off with this, asking your opinion on this. DX Trade versus MetaQuotes, or MT4, MT5, as most people know it, because they don't understand it's MetaQuotes. Mm-hmm. Why would you go with DX Trade over MetaQuotes or MT4, MT5?
Well, look, MT4, MT5 has been around since like 2002, right? They're the OG. So when every broker started coming out, it's not that they were better. It was just the fact that everyone was already using it.
Exactly.
Right. So it became a centralized ecosystem. That was the only centralized thing about Forex, because there isn't a central bank. And what people don't understand is that MetaQuotes is also a brokerage, which is why when you had when you download the app, there was the medical data.
Exactly.
They were a brokerage.
They're a broker.
People don't understand this. So, and just to answer this question, the reason why a lot of licenses got revoked is not because of brokers or this, that, and medicals went IPO. So they're cleaning up anything that's not regulated in the standards of the same regulations of the United States.
Exactly. IPO, guys, means that Mediquotes is trying to go public.
Yes. So they just revoked licenses and stuff like that, and that's why a lot of these brokers get put in a frenzy. Now, DX Trade is the same development team that created the TD Ameritrade trading platform, and they sold it for billions, right? Now they're their own company, and they help, they create the white labels like Binance, Sexo, crypto, right?
So DX created Binance. Or
They didn't create Binance. That's the platform you guys are using.
Okay.
Right? Sway Markets, DX Trade, right? A lot of the brokers.
Oh, so Sway Markets is they're getting their stuff created from DX.
It's a white label.
Makes sense.
So
all this Sway Markets chart bullshit is not from them. It's not proprietary. It's okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't take inspect. Right? Click inspect, you'll be able to see who makes it. Right, so it's not even like it's crazy information.
Yeah,
a lot of the brokers are switching over. You know what I mean? Like even Heroes using ProTrade, UTrade, whatever it is. So a lot of brokerages are switching over to different platforms. Henko is using something that's irrelevant.
Is that good?
No.
Oh, it's
Because that's what I told you earlier, right? There's a lot of janitors trying to do the principal's job. Yeah, I mean, and it's just because you get into these. The reason why it worked is because MetaTrader handled all of that. Now, as the broker, as someone that's never touched the computer really, right? Now you have to manage a whole execution platform.
Yeah.
And then you have to hire guys that aren't traders to manage an execution platform that handle financial data and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
hire Indians.
You can. No, it's like
it is.
People don't understand is that you can hire the best dev. The reason why I've been able to do what I do is because I am a trader that became a developer. So I understand the in and outs of what it takes to make a good system manually, and then I just made it automatic.
With trading.
If you go to Fiverr and you try to articulate your strategy, you're
guy
going to have to teach the guy how to trade.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the major difference. So that's the same thing with these developers that are managing trading platforms.
Makes sense.
A lot of the guys from DX Trade are traders.
Gotcha.
And they trade on the floors of hedge funds. So when they think about liquidity pool, data aggregation, and this liquidity provider, that liquidity provider, these guys know exactly what they would need. Exactly. So they're projecting their needs into the product that they're creating. Yeah. So that's what that is, right? Yeah. So to answer your question, right now, it will be DX only because they're up to date.
Up to date with things. Cool.
They're both on the same playing field. Yeah. Right. But again, TD and MetaTrade has the best trading platform to this day.
TD, I agree with that.
These are the guys that made it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
With that being said, man, thank you so much for all of this information and knowledge. I really do appreciate you for coming.
Thank you for the invite.
Appreciate it.